Hello and welcome to Community Connections with the North Little Rock Public Library System. I'm Derek, and joining me today is Keith Klosky and the Valdivia family. Mr. Klosky is a string teacher with the Thea Foundation. Thank you for joining us.
So it's a pleasure to be here. It certainly is a pleasure to be here.
Your, I want to say, orchestra played in the children's department at the library today, and it was just an honor, just a pleasure to listen to you. But before we go any further, why don't the four of you young ladies introduce yourself and tell what instrument you played?
My name is Christina Valdivia, and I play violin.
I'm Anya Valdivia, and I also play violin.
My name is Teresa Valdivia, and I play the cello.
And I'm Patricia Anna Krakowiak Valdivia, and I play the viola.
Okay. I just want to say one thing. The cello is my favorite instrument, with the possible exception of the French horn. And to me, it's all the S words. Serious, sedate, somber, sensual, sexy, serious. I like tango music, so I was so glad when I saw the cello in this orchestra, although you were all really good. So thank you so much. Yes. Mr. Klosky, please tell the audience what the Thea Foundation is.
Thea Foundation is an art foundation, a nonprofit that is promoting art in the schools. They've been around now for about 12 or 14 years. Paul Leopoulos, it was the beginning director, and now his son has taken over. And the two of them run the organization. Each year they give a bunch of scholarships to kids to continue their art education at universities. They began this string program by supporting the purchase of instruments for schools. This has been now about 8 years they started that. They supported the program while it was in the middle school and the high school. Though unfortunately, when the COVID epidemic hit, the program unfortunately faltered, and the school has yet to resurrect it, even though they have $30,000 worth of instruments in their possession.
How did you create the orchestra that played here this morning? How did you form that?
Most of them were my private students,
Okay.
And they come to my studio for lessons. Some of them are prior students that I've worked with before, and it's open to anybody that wants to come into the string ensemble. We're always looking for new members. We'll have 2 concerts, and one in November, one in December, 2 winter concerts. So we are trying to get more people in so they can come and enjoy playing string music too.
I'm just curious with the young ladies here, how long have you been playing your instruments?
6 months.
2 years.
About 3 years? Not 3, like 6, 7 years.
7 years, yeah.
And this is my 13th year playing violin.
Well, congratulations on that. Do you think, is it something that you are doing, and I'm not trying to cheapen it by any means, for the fun of it, or do you think after you leave home, you'll be doing it professionally?
Well, I actually do play violin professionally. I perform in downtown Hot Springs. I perform at weddings. I'm trying to find events all the time to play violin at. And I'm also a teacher. I teach at the Lakeside School District at the junior high. I teach the after-school orchestra there.
So with the violin, I do enjoy playing it most of the time, if it's not too hard. But I do try to focus on, since I'm younger, I try to focus on school a little more, so that I can get up to like PhDs and stuff. So I'll be set for the future.
You're also in the Arkansas, tell them about the Arkansas Symphony
Oh yeah, I'm also
Orchestra.
in the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra, which is a nice orchestra. They have a lot of students, or I guess players, and we have concerts, and they have pretty hard music. So, it's always kind of hard to play, but then after a few practicing sessions, you get really good. And then it sounds beautiful. It really
Yeah.
does.
Christina was also in the Arkansas Symphony
I
Orchestra.
graduated from that and got to conduct one of their concerts and conduct with the students.
Oh,
so I've kind of been
congratulations.
giving my efforts going back through the process of everything.
I mainly do it for the fun of it. I enjoy playing with my family a lot, and we enjoy doing a lot of Christmas songs during that time of year.
And as the mom, joined because they needed a viola to make a quartet. So I'm trying my best, and definitely the weakest thing right now, but practicing a lot with the girls is the best time of my life. And they've been with Mr. Keith since they were little tots. So I'm
I was
really
in-
excited.
I was in
Second grade when you
Mhm.
started.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
But it's just been an honor and amazing to know this man who's changed my children's lives. So it's been great.
This is sort of a leading question because I'm almost sure I'm going to get a yes answer, but I want to ask it anyway. Do you ever get that student that just sits down and just within a few lessons, you realize that student's got it, and that student is really going to be successful in music, as opposed to the child that's there because the parent wants them to be there, or they would like to play an instrument, but they're never going to go far.
Well, they're all going to go far. They go as far as they want to go.
Okay.
But yes, there are moments when we have extraordinary students. 3 of the students have been able to go to Carnegie Hall at one of the programs there. Christina has gone to Carnegie Hall. We're trying to convince Miss Anya maybe to try to get into the program too. So yes, you can sense a student's abilities pretty quick, but they all have abilities, and you just have to learn how to draw them out. They all have everybody's going to be at a different level. There's no 2 that are going to be playing the same. They all have their own talents. They all have their own skills, and you just try to draw them out.
You just said something that just reminded me of the concert that we heard this morning. It was a variety of music, gospel, rock, I would say easy listening, for lack of a better expression, classical, and it was just a nice variety of music. So that was just for me, just fun to listen to. And so thank you for that. Yes. Do you find that some students gravitate more towards one kind or another, or maybe the orchestra that you're working with? How do you decide maybe a better way to put it, how do you decide what you're going to play?
Well, in terms of a concert, we create a way where we're always surprising the audience. In other words, we're not going to try to play the same type of music throughout. We always want to surprise them. We always want to have moments where we have soloists and then a full ensemble, soloists, and different types of music, slow, fast. So the audience is always never sure what's going to happen next. So they don't know what's going to happen, and so it's always a surprise to them. And that's what we're always going for. In terms of the students, we find out as time goes by what kind of music they want to learn, what they want to play. Some people generate towards fiddle music. I have a student who just wants to do fiddle music, and so we do fiddle music. I have another little Anna that she listened to today who played the Mozart. She just likes doing classical. She loves Mozart. She loves playing Mozart. And so she's obviously going towards a classical era. And then we have people like Christina who play, and Anya who play everything. They just put a piece of music from, I like that, and play that. So it all depends on the student.
I was so glad to hear folk music this morning. I always remember Arthur Fiedler when he had the Boston Pops, and it was just the notion that some people look down on American folk music. And he one time had a concert where it was virtually, where they were on mules in the Grand Canyon, and they were playing music, and then brought it back, and it just more or less like, this is good music too. And it was just, so I was pleased to hear that in the concert this morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
A nice mix. Yeah. And it was wonderful having all those little kids there so that they could see, music's broad, it's wide, and having their little exuberant faces there, sitting there and watching the music and listening to the music, and they were all so quiet and so engrossed with music. So that's the main purpose of a concert of this nature. When we can waken in small children the desire to play music, no matter what instrument it is, that's our goal. Get them playing in the home, get them playing little songs starting with Twinkle or something like that, and getting them to where they're playing at the home and then eventually playing out too.
Now, having said that, though, this morning I just saw stringed instruments. Do you also have brass and woodwinds in your I don't want to use the word ensemble?
No, it's just purely strings. There's North Little Rock has a community band, and they have all brass and that stuff, but we're just going to be just strings. We'll never go to the symphonic level.
Okay.
Now, if the high school were to bring back their program, which I hope they do, and I encourage every parent to tell their teacher that they want to learn string instruments too, because it is the state instrument, that if the North Little Rock High School gets back, then they should create a symphonic orchestra where they would have everything. They have the whole schmear of brass and woodwinds and percussion.
Musical instruments are expensive. And I venture to say that maybe a cello can be $10,000.
Well, no.
Not that much more.
No.
Okay.
There's
but
different
look,
range.
I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Okay.
Make your comment.
Instruments are at a different range, and some can be expensive. When we talk about, the professionals that are playing, like at the New York Symphony, they're paying anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000 for their instruments. We're talking about student instruments, $600, $800, a cello, $2,000, $1,200, somewhere in there, just to see if they have the interest. Why invest $10,000, $12,000 right off the bat, and then after a month they kind of go, I don't like this. Well, we're stuck with you. You got to play it. No, we don't do that. I encourage people to always rent to start with through the Little Rock Violin Shop, which is a great organization that helps us.
What is your next venue?
Next venue is on November 29th. It is going to be at the Argenta Public Library. Then the one after that is on December 11th. It's going to be at the Senior Citizen Center over in North Little Rock, across the way from here. And we're going to see if we can also set one more here at that same time for winter concerts. We'll start rehearsing for that in August.
Okay, all right. Well, we look forward to having you, all of you, and the rest of your orchestra. I use that word maybe incorrectly, but you know what I'm trying to imply. Yes,
I do.
Coming back. And so we'll close with this.
All right.
Thank you. It has been a pleasure. For more information about the Thea Foundation, can be found at theafoundation.org.